How many of you are working from home for the first time ever? You know what? This is not going to be the first of the many firsts that we will experience during this time of surviving COVID-19. There are so many different transitions that we're going to have to navigate through, but working from home may be a huge adjustment for some of you if you've never done it before. So this week's top 5 is homework for adults that are working from home. Now, I used to be an educator, and giving homework was not something that my students always enjoyed receiving. But this week we're going to talk about tips that are going to hopefully make your work from home experience a lot easier for you. Number 1, you want to choose a time management system. All right. So when you're working from home, and this is, I'm not going to say this is just for the moms, but for the dads as well. Now that your children are at home, if you have children, you have to be concerned about your work, your kiddos, keeping them busy, keeping them engaged, keeping them safe, keeping them fed, and really doing the same for yourself. So it's easy for time to get away from you. So if you can think about the most effective time management system for yourself, that's really going to help your day for you to use the time in your day more efficiently. So there are a couple of different ways and options that you can choose. You might choose to chunk your tasks, putting them in sizable bite-sized groups that will give you an opportunity to focus on them, but also give you time to take a break in between. Sometimes you just kind of need to reset during the day. You know what? If you like doing a to-do list, you can do your to-do list, but maybe you'll add a time block with it. So it's not just listing what you're going to do, but giving yourself a time frame that you're going to do those things as well. So those are just a couple of ways, and I will also leave a link in the description with some other options for time management tips that you can use to make your day go smoothly and to better help you accomplish all of those tasks that you need to get done during the day. Number 2 is taking brain breaks. Yeah, you want to be efficient and you want to get all of your work done, but in order for you to stay focused, it's important for you to take a brain break. And so for some of you, that might mean checking in on your social media, because in the back of your mind, you might be thinking about what your friends are doing on Facebook, or who's posting on Instagram, or what news is coming across on CNN. So it's okay to take a quick break and take a look at those details and then kind of get back to your work. So taking a brain break is not a bad thing. You want to get up and move, at least move for about 5 minutes a day. You don't want to stay seated, in a seated position any longer than an hour, because again, that's going to have physical effects too that will worsen your health. And so you want to get up and keep it moving. 5 minutes to kind of do a quick loop around, walking around, and then kind of come back to your position. Some of you may even be working from a standing desk. And so if you have a standing desk, that's also going to keep that blood flowing and keep your thoughts and your mind engaged, so that you can really be focused and intentional on the work that you're doing. Number 3, don't skip lunch. And you know what? That's easier said than done. I've been an entrepreneur for about 8 years now, and I've worked from home for the last year. And so, you know what? Sometimes I do forget to eat because I'm working on a project, I'm on a Zoom call, or, I'm preparing for a strategy session, and the time just kind of gets away from me. But you have to stop and eat. Make sure that you have quick snacks available, and you kind of prepped what your lunch meal or your dinner meal is going to be, because it's important for you to have that nourishment that you need to keep your brain engaged. Because when you have that lack of oxygen and that lack of nourishment, it's just going to make you feel sluggish, and you're not really going to be focused on the work so that you're really maximizing your ability to do it and to do it well. So make sure that you're, have those snacks available, because you kind of want to keep your metabolism moving. Number 4, choose your attitude. Now, there are lots of things that we have no control over. But you do have control over how you think and the attitude that you choose to have. So yes, you may be forced to work at home. Maybe you are forced to learn new platforms, new ways of communicating. You've been given additional work because, let's face it, people are losing their jobs. And so that could be compiling your responsibilities at work. But you know what? How you think determines how you thrive. So make sure that, try to be positive about those changes that you're having to navigate through. That is the one thing that you have a choice in, how you think. And you know what? I do get it. These are scary times. And so you may find stress and anxiety trying to creep in. But you know what? Let's be proactive and try to, make sure that you have strategies in place to manage that stress. And so for some of you, it might be, just listening to calming music. You might see the candle that I have burning in the background. I love candles. It really helps to keep me relaxed. You can't really see this in my office, but I also have a little tabletop fountain that, lets water run. And so I, like listening to the trickling water. That really helps to calm me down. For me, getting up and just taking a walk helps to alleviate, stress and anxiety for me. So, those are some positive things that you can do to kind of shift that fear and anxiety that, may come to your mind during the day while you're trying to work through your workday. And number 5, carve out a neutral space to work every day. You know what? Try not to work in the spaces that you eat. Try not to work in the spaces that you sleep, because it's just, if you sleep in there, you're gonna be sleepy when you're in those areas. So try to find a neutral space within your house that's carved out just for your work. And then let your family members know, like, this is mommy's workspace, or this is, the space that I'm working in. So I need you to respect this space and not bother anything that's, in this area. And so that that when you're in that area, your mind, your body is focused on doing the work, because that's what's done when you're in that space. So you're sort of in a muscle memory, because, when I sit in this chair, this is when I know that, I'm focused, I'm attentive, I'm getting to work. I'm not going to be relaxed and, thinking about other things that are distracting me because I'm in my lazy chair or my TV chair, or I'm in the kitchen, in a space where, I'm ready to eat and, kind of have fun. So make sure that you have a dedicated space, if at all possible, where, this is where you're going to be working when you're working from home. So listen, as I said, you know what? This is not going to be the first of the many adjustments that we're going to have to make. So I'm just encouraging you to do it with a positive attitude. I would love for you to leave in the comments some of the other changes that have been unexpected that you've had to navigate through. I think that it's great to have a space where we can, be honest about our growth and those things that are easy for us to adapt to and those things that are a little more challenging for us to adapt to, because really that's the only way that we're going to get through it, is as we see people overcoming and we see people solving these problems. So let's share it. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Again, we're going to get through this. Stay encouraged. Try to stay as positive as you can. And you know what? Enjoy the work that you're able to do, because there are so many people that are actually out of work that would love to be in your position. So until we meet again over our next virtual conversation, have a great week.